So what's happening? Did you know that VeChain recently made a post saying how the first batch of testers have landed in something called VWorld? I'll explain what this is, and people like to say, well, who cares about this? You know, VeChain, it's down around 5% in the past 24 hours. I'm totally aware of that, but this goes far beyond this. And let me explain why that is maybe the case in my perspective, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything and nothing I say is financial advice. Well, because first of all, if we take a look at it, we will see, okay, what is VWorld, right? Why is this even a big deal? Well, it's because VWorld, in the context of VeChain, it does represent the wallet, and also it's home to VBetter. We also take a look at Stargate, which is pretty massive, right? Also on top of that, the agent suite. But how does this even tie into the first batch of testers landing? Now, let me explain. Now, it's for the first batch of testers for VWorld's new agent suite feature. These testers, they've landed to kind of test this stuff out. So this is pretty impressive because they are planning for a gradual release when it comes to this. So this matters a lot because through the agent suite, what VeChain is doing is that it's pushing its AI narrative and it's being more focused on AI when it comes to that, which is pretty impressive because it showcases the serious nature of which VeChain is focused on AI, because everyone thought that, oh, you know, a project like this that's only focused primarily, historically speaking, on supply chain management, what do they know about AI? Who cares about that? But apparently they are knowing a lot about AI, because think about it, the agent suite, it's not a small task. That's pretty difficult to do, right? Now, granted, you know, people like to say, oh, it's just kind of testing things out as of right now in the testing phase, so to speak. Okay, I can get that, but at the same time, it's progress, in my opinion. It showcases that VeChain is actually serious about their AI narrative, which I think is a pretty impressive thing because, again, sure, it's down around 5% in the past 24 hours, but at the same time, though, this has major future hypothetical implications, in my opinion, because this is the type of stuff that could affect VeChain for many years to come, because AI, when it comes to stocks, we've seen it for quite some time now be a very big narrative, but we just haven't really seen it here. So what happens if that wave were to come? Guess who's waiting? VeChain. And as of right now, it needs to prepare maybe for that wave if it could ever even come. And they're doing it clearly, like what they just posted, right? I mean, again, they're having people test things out when it comes to it and all this. So it's a big thumbs up in my opinion. Now, people like to say, oh, why would VeChain even try as of right now? Why don't they try later? Well, if they try later, it's going to be a little bit too late, right? I mean, I'm just going to give an example. I'm not a surfer, but I'm just saying, in a pure hypothetical, in just an analogy type of way, if I'm trying to surf in the ocean, would I rather chase a wave that's like 70 feet away? Or would I rather just anticipate one? Just wait, basically. Well, I would rather just wait, right? I'd rather anticipate, because if I'm trying to chase, you know, I can't paddle 70 feet away. I'm not Aquaman. I'm not Jason Momoa. I can't do that. So again, when I take a look at this space, I kind of view it no different. It's better anticipating as opposed to chasing. It's only logical, at least personally for me, because if, again, that AI narrative were to come in, VeChain is better prepared, right? Because imagine if their agent suite and all this is a lot more developed, let's say it's already really doing its thing, it's just going to be much better for that AI wave to actually be received by something like VeChain, because it would put it in a better position to actually receive it because it's more prepared. But that's granted if it's putting the work in as of right now. It's like, for instance, take a look at Jeff Bezos 35 years ago. Did people care about him? I'm pretty sure some did, but it wasn't to the level that it is as of right now. People care about him a lot currently because of what he's done with Amazon, but people sometimes don't consider he had to put all that work in before to catch that e-commerce wave eventually, right? When Amazon was waiting right there, he put in all the work. So then when that e-commerce wave really set in, basically when it really kicked off, Amazon kind of rode the wave, right? It kind of went along with the ride. And when it comes to, in the case of VeChain, I'm pretty sure they're kind of trying to do the same thing. Now, of course, this will never become as big as Amazon. You know, that's just the way to take a look at it. But it's kind of like just an example. That's the way I take a look at it. It's like, for instance, if I'm trying to cook chicken pot pie, or if I'm trying to cook, let's say, a stew, either way, I'm going to have to prepare, right? I'm going to have to prepare the ingredients. I'm going to have to buy beforehand. So it's a little bit no different. It's a different menu item, but it's the same in a sense where they both have to be prepared for, at least in advance, in terms of buying the ingredients and stuff like that. So when it comes to VeChain, when it comes to a company in real life or whatever, they still need to prepare, in my opinion. It's a little bit no different. Now, when it comes to VeChain, keep in mind, it's no slouch. It has partnerships with the UFC, with something like Power Slap. And also on top of that, VeChain, we've seen, or should I say I've seen historically, partnerships like H&M, with Walmart, with, in the case of PricewaterhouseCoopers, also Deloitte, so they've been partners with pretty impressive things. And also we've seen, right, historically, a partnership between VeChain and BMW. So that's pretty impressive. So again, at the end of the day, when we take a look at something like VeChain, they're not playing around. They're actually really doing things, in my opinion. And yes, I get it. It's easy to say that, oh, this is a project that's too focused on supply chain management, historically speaking. They can't really do AI properly, but what's different than something like BitTensor? I mean, they haven't been around for that long, but why is that suddenly so qualified to be focused on AI, but then suddenly VeChain can't, even though VeChain's been around for quite a while, and also on top of that, VeChain has the VeChain Thor blockchain, which arguably is one of the most reliable out there because it's seen zero network outages ever since 2018, supposedly. So when people like to say, oh, VeChain can't be focused on AI, they don't know anything about it. Well, how come BitTensor can be focused on AI, right? I mean, how come they can, but this can't? And plus, if VeChain doesn't try, how would they know? That's the thing. So yeah, that's just kind of my mindset currently when it comes to VeChain. I get it. It's not the most interesting project out there, people like to say, but I don't mind. The thing is this. With VeChain as of right now being at around half a penny, right? So half of 1 cent, basically. It's slightly under that, but let's just say for simplicity's sake, we assume half a cent. And keep in mind, what that means is that we're well over 10 times lower than December of 2024. Keep in mind, in December of 2024, this was almost, or should I say around 6.5 cents, right? So it was at around 6.5 cents. If we think about that right there, we're what, around 13 times lower than that? If we consider VET as of right now, which is VeChain's primary native token, being at half a penny, it's kind of ridiculous, right? In a sense, we're that low, personally, in my opinion. If VeChain could just go to half of that, like what, we're over 6 times lower than that, right? So here's the thing. VeChain doesn't really need to do anything so groundbreaking. If it could just return back to a previous point, I'm going to Sizzler, the restaurant. Here's the thing. People like to say, wow, VeChain wasn't doing that good back in, let's say, September 2025. People thought that 2.5 cents was very bearish, right? They thought it was really bad when it comes to VeChain back in September 2025. But guess what? We're around 5 times lower than that as of right now. We're around 5 times lower than a point in which previously was considered a little bit bad when it comes to VeChain, which was what it was back in September of 2025. It was at around 2.5 cents. As of right now, we're around 5 times lower than that. So that's how much VeChain has had a pullback. I get it. It may seem like a bad thing at first glance, but I don't mind the dip. That's the thing. And if VeChain could just go back there, I'm already going to Sizzler. So yeah, that's besides the point though. But again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very amazing day.